Now, why is the subject the way it is? And that is, it's not a formal subject. We don't sit down and say, well, here's how you do a set of requirements, or here's how you do an architecture, go off and do one. It's very much, look, you have to sort out the design, or you have to sort out what the requirements are. Why don't you go and do that? And there's not a lot of specific direction. The reason for this is that when you get out into industry, there is an awful lot you're going to be expected to do, and there's no instructions. You'll be expected to go and find out. With that finding out is by talking to somebody that you already know in that company who knows better, or going and looking it up on the internet. Doesn't matter much to me. Importantly, you have to go and figure out that you need to learn something, go find it out, and then start applying it pretty much on your own. Now, in the early days of programming, software systems were simple, and believe me, I was there in the early days of programming, and software, programs were simple. The 2-page program in assembly was pretty reasonable. Now you're dealing in thousands and hundreds of thousands of lines of code, and they're not simple anymore. So the technical challenges of writing the writing programs are pretty much under control. That is, we actually know how to do software engineering. We know the steps that we should take to gather the requirements, to understand the problem, to do the design, to understand how we're going to implement the solution, to design the user interface and the database persistence, the data persistence. And we know how to code, and then we know how to test, and we know how to document. So technically we know what we're doing. It's merely a matter of learning all of that. Where we're having trouble, and where the challenges are in software engineering, is actually in the social side of it. That is, forming a team and having everybody work together, to collaborate together, to work efficiently, to resolve all their problems, to coordinate what's happening mostly in industry is with distributed development and with blended teams. How to get people working together quickly. By blended teams, I mean you've got a collection of people. Some work for the company, some are on individual contract, some are provided by as a team of people from outside company or consultancy, and you also might have some provider overseas somewhere. So that in that way, all of these people have to collaborate and coordinate everything to get it done, and that's a much more realistic setting in industry. In particular, you don't get any choice about who you get to work with. You have to get on with them. You have to figure out how everybody's going to work together. And so this subject is set up very much that way.